Hello, sincere friends. Hope you are all in good health. Happy New Year 2024. Today we are going to be reading and analyzing the poem The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost. I believe this poem is fitting as we begin a new year, and even as you are faced this year with decisions and which road to take. May you embark on a favorable path, one of least regret. All right, let us delve right in. The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost. Poem reading. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both and be one traveler. Long I stood and looked down one as far as I could to where it bent in the undergrowth. Then took the other as just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear, though as for that the passing there had warned them really about the same. And both that morning equally lay, in leaves no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day, yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. I shall be telling this with a sigh, somewhere ages and ages hence. Two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. Wow. So this poem has four stanzas and was written by Robert Frost. He he was born in 1874 and passed away in 1963. So this road not taken, when we hear about a road, it usually signifies a physical road, but this could also be figurative in terms of being at a crossroads and having a decision to make. So as I analyze this poem, you could apply it literally or figuratively depending on the situation you are in. But once you really delve into the poem, you can see how it can be applied in life as one goes through life, even figuratively. So the first stanza talks about two roads diverge in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both. So this is simply saying there are two roads, and you are at a point where you either have to go right or left. So a decision has to be made. And of course, you can't travel both. You can't go right and left at the same time. You have to make a choice. You have to make a decision because you are just one traveler. So the poet, long I stood and looked down one as far as I could to where it bent in the undergrowth. So he just stood there looking down the path to where it curved and bent in the grass. Should I take this path? Should I take the other path? So then took the other as just as fair. So obviously he went for the other path and having the better claim because it was grassy and wanted wear. So basically saying it hasn't it hadn't seen much use. So it has a better claim of wanting more travelers on that road. Basically it was grassier and wanted wear. So usually when a path has been walked on by a lot of people, the grass will be bent, it will be dark, it will be less green because it shows a passage of people, of feet, of cars, of whatever type of traffic on that road. So it's going to be, more used, while the one that is less used, of course, would be grassier and more natural, so to speak. Though as for that, the person there had warned them really about the same. So I would assume he's referring to the focus which is standing. So this is kind of, if you think back on it, this kind of shows in life you are not alone. If you are at a crossroads having to make a decision, nothing is new under the sun. Chances are someone has been there in your exact shoes, also had to make a decision. So it's kind of comforting to know in life you are not alone and others have been in your shoes too. So the third stanza states, and both that morning equally lay in leaves no step had trodden black. So overnight, the trees had shed leaves on the ground and they were so fresh and green, feet hadn't trodden on them. So nobody had walked on there, it was so fresh. So a new day, new decisions to make, new path to take. So both no the leaves were wanting wear, so to speak, but yeah, in the morning everything is fresh. Oh, I kept the first for another day. Yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. So sometimes we say, let me try this and then tomorrow try that. So he's like, let me leave the first way and go on the less trodden way and then save the first way for another day. But he also recognizes that way leads on to way. So think of this: you choose the right path, the one on the right, and you say, let me save the left for tomorrow. But when you continue on the right path, that path may also have a crossroads that you may need to make another decision. So decisions can lead to more decisions. So what are the chances that you will retrace your steps and come back to the original point of entry and take the left path? So I think it's kind of cool that the writer acknowledges this, that once you go on a path, sometimes there is no going back. And that is really how life is sometimes. Some of the decisions we have to make are life changing. So that is why, if you have the time, you need to make sure you think through decisions, because some of those decisions you can't take it back. You can't go back to that original point and take a different path. So I just hope any decisions you make, you evaluate them carefully and you take the path that you can you can live with. The last stanza says, I shall be telling this with a sigh somewhere ages and ages hence. So this is saying he's gonna have a story to tell somewhere down the line, probably ages and ages, decades to come. Think of him having woven through that labyrinth of decisions, of paths, and he's now older and he has like friends and family, grandchildren, telling them about how the one decision that he made at the crossroads has led everyone to where they are. And sometimes, your decisions don't just affect you, it also affects others. So maybe when you have a decision to make too, um, you could consider, if you had to justify that decision to someone else or to other people or to family members, especially those that decision will also affect. Is it a decision you can defend? Is it a path that you walk on and have no regrets, or at least the least regrets? Two roads diverge in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. So he took the one that wanted the most wear, the one that people did not travel on. What I read this as is he took the harder decision, basically. And that would have been hard or harder because it would be easier to take the much traveled route because it's been tried and tested. There's probably, a wide road and exit, it's known, rather than taking the one with the underbrush, the one with the unknown path, basically. So it was also brave of this poet to take that path, the one less traveled by, but with risk also comes reward. Most risk, or let me put it this way, it doesn't necessarily mean that when you take risks, reward is at the end of the tunnel. But we can reverse it by saying there's no reward without risk. And I'm glad for this poet, he said, and that has made all the difference. So from this last sentence in this stanza, this last line, it shows that he made the right decision by charting that course and taking the road the road less traveled rather than the easier path. So yeah, this is I just thought this was an appropriate poem to address as we go into this new year, because I know many people are making decisions, new year resolutions, if you will, both in their personal life, in their work life, careers, um, financial wise, health wise. So you can apply this poem as you go forward and just ponder on the decisions you have to make, on the path you have to take, and proceed accordingly after you make a decision. And remember, you don't always have to take the road that is less traveled. That was just what worked for this author. Sometimes you may also choose to take the road more traveled, and that is also fine as long as you can live with your decision. All right, thank you very much for listening to this analysis, listening to this video. And if you have any comments or questions, feel free to leave it in the comment section below, and I will do my best to respond to you. Once again, Happy New Year 2024. May it be a happy and prosperous year for us all. And I will see you in my next video. Bye bye.